Welcome back. We're going to be looking at the law of cosines, and it's just another one of these fun trigonometric identities that can be quite useful when you have limited information about the triangles that you're trying to solve for, an angle or a side or something. So let's take up our standard triangle again, where we give it A, B, and C. And this time we're going to modify it in a different way than we've done before, when we had the law of sines and being able to find the area and such things. What we're going to do is we're going to divide it up into two right triangles. And from that position, we're going to then use the Pythagorean theorem. And from that, we'll use some more trigonometric ideas. So first, let's just try and follow this and what we have. If we call this side here x, then this will be b minus x because the whole base is b, okay? And then from that, we'll be able to use the Pythagorean theorem to simply set up some equations. So let's just go ahead and do that. If we have this one here, okay, the c squared, and then we have the height, which we just drew down there. That, of course, squared, and then this part squared, because from there to there, it's b minus x. Then we'll have the other triangle, and that is the a squared, h squared, x squared one. All right, so the hypotenuse here, our amount of x there, and the same height that they have in common with the other triangle. So just to show you there, the green one, that's where on the left, and the amber one is on the right, okay? Now I'm going to take this here and I'll expand it, and from there, that point on, we'll be able to manipulate these two equations and use some trigonometry to get some interesting little things done. So let's move on. I've expanded it. Then we take the amber away from the green, okay? And that leaves us this. But we're not really satisfied with that. We want to be able to take a triangle with limited information, say you only know the length of the sides perhaps, and then you want to try to find an angle. So we're going to need to do something with this here. So what can we do? What do we know? We know something about some sides. We've defined this side. That side has a relationship with cosine together with the angle C. So let's use that one. We will say that cosine C, in other words, this angle here, it is defined as, of course, this length divided by that one. And then if we rearrange the term so that we isolate x, we get this. Then we can take this x and use it here. So let's do that. And when we do that, we're only one step away from rearranging it into what is known as the law of cosines. And that is this. So when you have done it this way, and some books, sometimes they just reverse the way this is. Don't worry about that. It's like all these things. Some books just like to have certain things on the left and others on the right. It really doesn't matter. If you have the equivalence, you're good to go. This law of cosines is very useful when you have very limited information. You may only know this and this and this, and be asked to find the angle between. And using just the old tricks like the Pythagorean theorem and such, you wouldn't be able to find the angle. You might be able to draw it on a piece of paper and measure something and get an approximation, but using the trigonometry, you can get the theoretically highest value for accuracy doing this. So, and of course, everything always depends on your measurements eventually if you want to build a triangle. But just keep these different laws and identities in mind when dealing with triangles where you have to solve for a side or an area or an angle. Perhaps you'll have to use more than one. or use a combination of them. Perhaps you'll have to first use this identity, this one, and then maybe go on to say, okay, and now from that I can use another identity to find another, maybe an angle or an unknown side or an area. So these all can work together, and there's only experience that will help you with them. So don't be afraid to use them, and don't be afraid to have it take some time, because it takes a while to get used to how to do these, and it's not always intuitive. So just a word of caution, but don't be afraid of it. You need to be able to do it. All right, see you next time.